Worth noting, in the dozen games they played without Rudy Gobert, the Wolves actually went 8-4, and they were slightly better on offense. Our Andrew Lopez was at the Target Center and saw it all go down.
Temper certainly did flare inside the Target Center on Sunday afternoon, and it resulted in Rudy Gobert being sent home by the Minnesota Timberwolves at halftime. Now, this is not the first time the Wolves have had to deal with adversity this year. They're actually getting pretty good at it. In his post-game media availability, Mike Conley said that Gobert had already sent a text message to the group apologizing for the incident. Gobert also sent a tweet apologizing to Kyle Anderson, fans, and the organization after the game. Now, while any other Rudy Gobert discipline will be handled in-house, Minnesota does have to deal with Jaden McDaniels not being around. McDaniels punched a wall in the tunnel nearest the Wolves bench in the first quarter and will be out for the foreseeable future, according to sources telling our Adrian Wojnarowski. Now, with McDaniels out, Chris Finch said immaturity has been one of the team's problems this year, especially immaturity at bad times. Now, they'll have to just move forward with it, which they will do when they face the Lakers in the play-in tournament. And as Karl Anthony Towns said, we'll just have to go out and earn it.
All right, for those that say the NBA is no longer as physical as it used to be, Sunday in a strange way proved them wrong. Our Jalen Rose, who took part in the playoffs 6 times, joins us tonight here on SportsCenter. What do you make of the Gobert punch and the potential aftermath?
I'm disappointed in Rudy Gobert. It was irresponsible, Zubin. They bring you from Utah for multiple draft picks to not only block shots and be a productive player, but also to be a leader, in particular at this time of the year. It's a coward move anytime to punch a teammate, especially during a game when they're challenging you to actually do what the team brought you there to do. And so I don't believe, and it's just me projecting, that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to suspend them, because I think that's their call versus the league being able to make that decision. And then it becomes a snowball effect of frustration throughout the roster. And then Jaden McDaniels, you walk into the locker room, you punch a wall. It's not going to give. You fracture your hand, and now their 2 best defenders are going to be out when they go and play a play-in game at the Los Angeles Lakers, who now the heavens just opened up for them and literally gave them a legitimate chance to not only win the play-in, but possibly advance in the first round.
And the first game of that play-in tournament between Minnesota and the Lakers will be Tuesday night. Let's hone in on one matchup in each conference that interests you the most. Let's start out west.
The West Coast, it has to be the big-name conference. Guys that I've seen do it, Zubin. Seen Kawhi Leonard do it. And I know they're going to be shorthanded without Paul George, but I also saw Tyronn Lue do it as a head coach in Cleveland. A Suns team, of course, the best 1-2 punch in basketball has to be KD and Book when you go into the playoffs. But they only play 8 games together. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic plays out. I'm picking the Suns in that series, but I'm really watching for the depth of the Clippers and can Paul George return, and obviously the Phoenix Suns, if you can get them early before they steam momentum, because ultimately the Phoenix Suns are my choice to represent the Western Conference.
Think about this out west. None of the top 5 seeds, none of them have ever won the NBA Finals. How about out east?
It's been a great thing to see Julius Randle play at an all-NBA level and Jalen Brunson give them stability at the point guard position. But if the Knicks, as the 5 seed, go to Cleveland and get bounced in the first round by Donovan Mitchell, who's had a 71-point game already this year, is a proven playoff performer in his young career, it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be an exciting series. But Zubin, I have to go with the team in this case that has home court advantage and the best player in this series. I would not be surprised if the Cleveland Cavaliers upset, knock out, and beat the New York Knickerbockers in the first round.
How about that? Jalen actually picked the 4-5 matchup in each conference. The play-in tourney starts Tuesday, ends Thursday. The playoffs proper begin this weekend. Jalen and the Countdown crew will be with you all the way to the finals in June. Jalen, thanks.
By Kia.
Welcome to the NBA Countdown Playoff Preview. We are coming at you live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. He's Stephen A. Smith, Jalen Rose, Malika Andrews, Michael Wilbon will be with us in just a moment live from Phoenix. But My friends, the play-in, the playoffs, they are set. And we're going to start by taking a look at the West because it has been a wild journey to get to this point, a wild Sunday. But the top 6 is set. So coming into the day, the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, the Kings, the Suns, they were locked into the top 4 spots. The Clippers, they battled back. They claimed the 5 seed. The Warriors, they win in convincing fashion and secure the 6th spot. So that sets up our play-in tournament as follows. The Lakers, they host the Timberwolves in that 7-8 matchup. The winner clinches the 7th seed. And then the Pelicans and the Thunder, they square off in the 9-10 game. The winner faces the loser of the Lakers-Timberwolves for the 8th and final spot. And as our Adrian Wojnarowski has reported, the Timberwolves will be without Jaden McDaniels for that play-in game against the Lakers. They will also, the fate as of Sunday for Rudy Gobert is still unknown. So Stephen A. Smith, when you're looking at this play-in matchup, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that the Lakers are going to advance to go up against the Memphis Grizzlies in a 7-game series, that they've got a legitimate shot at winning because Steven Adams is out and Brandon Clark is out. And obviously that compromises Memphis's front line. It's going to see how pivotal Jaren Jackson is to all of us. We know how incredibly talented he is, but he's prone to get into foul trouble, and you've got to monitor and watch that. The other thing that I say about it is that I'm able to say all of those things and just significantly just bypass the Minnesota Timberwolves because of the stupidity and the idiocy of these guys. You're Rudy Gobert. You're about to go into the postseason, and you're going to punch a teammate on national television in front of a whole bunch of people, as well as your teammate. You're Jaden McDaniels. You're going to punch a wall. You're approaching the playoffs. You're in the play-in game. What could you have possibly been so mad about that you literally punch something and break your hand and you're out for the season? This is idiocy at one of its highest levels, and it's costed the Minnesota Timberwolves relevancy. The only reason we're talking about them is because of how stupid they appear right now.
Well, Bon?
Wasn't it just a year ago we sat in similar places talking about the Timberwolves majoring in dumb? I mean, I know I should use the word immaturity, you know, and be a little less agitated, but I am agitated. I mean, because you want to see Anthony Edwards surrounded by a team. This is one of the rising young stars in the league. And you get to the playoffs, and the way he's played, you know, after the All-Star break, it's like, I want to see him. And I want to see how good they can be with Karl Anthony Towns back in there, among other things. And then you get more dumb from the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is year after year after year. How many years can they do this? I mean, they were set up to be in a position to at least be competitive with that bottom group and get into the real playoffs. And now, Stephen A., I'm totally with you. I think the Lakers probably will and ought to take them apart in their single game play-in situation. And Minnesota just said, let us help you. Let us pick you up and help you knock the daylights out of us in this postseason game.
When the Lakers were looking for a coach, one of the reasons why I felt Darvin Ham would get the job, because he'd be a guy that motivate Anthony Davis. And yes, LeBron James broke the overall scoring record this year, but afterwards he was injured. Anthony Davis balled out like an all-NBA performer. And the same Darvin Ham reinvented this roster multiple times this year with D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura. Now all of a sudden this is a different team without Russell Westbrook that he now navigates. To Stephen A's point, to get to play at home in this play-in, they're going to wax Minnesota on their home floor and have a legitimate chance to upset the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round. I will pick Memphis because they have Ja and they have home court advantage. But the Lakers, the basketball guys have shined down on them and put them in position to continue to advance.
Well, they're certainly not the 2-10 Lakers that started the season. They're adding Tristan Thompson. They're adding Shaq Harrison to their roster. And now we all expect, because especially with a depleted Minnesota Timberwolves team, to see them advance to the playoffs.